In today's society, there are many children who are gifted and talented but do not realize that they are. The U.S. Department of Education of 1993 defines giftedness as children and youth with outstanding talent who perform or show the potential for performing at remarkably high levels of accomplishment when compared with others of their age, experience, or environment. As a matter of fact, one of the myths about gifted students is that every child is gifted. So the truth is, all children have some sort of strength and attribute, but it doesn't necessarily apply to the educational sense. The talent aspect of gifted and talented can range from sports and athleticism to artistic ability, but within the school system, giftedness' main focus is performance and accomplishment. Another myth is that a student cannot be gifted if that child is receiving poor grades, when in fact, gifted students tend to become bored in classroom, which leads to underachievement. Too often, and for no apparent reason, students who show great academic promise fail to perform at the level of commensurate with previously documented abilities, frustrating both parents and teachers. In classrooms around the country, there is a big problem with underachievement in gifted students. One of the reasons underachievement occurs is because a student doesn't find the material challenging or interesting, so the student stops trying. A way to avoid this problem is by trying to teach each student a subject but in a way that piques their interest, so the students will have fun and learn all at once. Also, when students come home, parents can ask them questions about the subjects that they are struggling with. Peer issues may also contribute to the achievement and underachievement of adolescents. For example, being bullied or made fun of by other kids can cause kids to not want to do their work and resulting in them falling behind in class and having poor grades. A tip for this issue is help your child find a friend with similar interests or ask the teacher to help find other kids with gifted abilities within the school. Another myth is gifted students don't need any help. They'll do just fine on their own. In fact, that's not true. Gifted students need just as much help as any other child, but since they do not receive that help, they tend to give up and not perform to their ability. There are many ways to identify underachievement. For example, you have ability versus achievement and tests versus grades. After you realize that your child is underachieving, you can sit down with them and figure out why, and also figure out some solutions to help them, like extra homework assignments. Noticing that your child is underachieving is important because you want your child to perform to the best of their abilities. Underachievement also has to do with the child's motivation. In fact, they go hand in hand. As a parent of a gifted child, you want to know what interests they have and how you can help them learn through those interests. Many issues arise when it comes to motivation. Many children say there's not enough time to answer questions when it comes to doing schoolwork. As a parent of the gifted children, you should help motivate them to do the schoolwork no matter the time given. There are 4 different ways to increase a child's motivation. They are internal motivation, external motivation, zone of proximal development, and enrichment opportunity. First, gifted students are usually motivated internally. Experts say to problem solve about the things that block their internal motivation. Parents of their children with a lack of internal drive should discuss with the child what can help improve their drive. Majority of gifted students with lack of internal motivation has problems with perfectionism. There is a fine line between striving to reach high standards of excellence and feeling self-defeated through inability to reach unrealistic expectations of perfection. When children start reaching towards these unrealistic goals of perfection, they tend to give up, which leads to underachievement. Perfectionism is also a way of thinking. One aspect of perfectionist thinking is all or none thinking. For example, when a child does a project, they think either this project will be perfect or it will be worthless. There are ways parents can help children with perfectionism. You can help them think positively instead of making negative comments about it, like, "It was nice to have this challenge and I'm glad I took the time to do it." Perfectionist students have a hard time grasping this concept and often spend inordinate amounts of time on simple projects by greatly extending the scope of the project. A helpful tip is you can help your child spend the appropriate amount of time that the project needs. The next part to increase your child's motivation is external motivation. Try to figure out what external factors is keeping them from being motivated or what helps motivate them. One way to help motivate your child is to set short-term goals for them, and when they achieve those goals, you give them a reward. The next step in increasing a kid's motivation is zone of proximal development, which means that parents should work with the schools to make sure that their children is working on tasks that is at their skill level, still challenges them, and doing things in an appropriate amount of time. Lastly is enrichment opportunities. Parents should make sure that your child has opportunities to learn about things that interest them and might help them be motivated to learn. You can help them by taking them to different programs about their topic of choice. You can also help find mentors in the community that works with that topic who your child could talk to and ask questions of them if needed to. Also, support from the parents of gifted kids could also boost their motivation to accomplish their goals as well. Acceleration is also a major key in gifted children's lives. Acceleration is when a kid progresses faster in school than any other kids their age. Acceleration can be important in many ways, but one major way is that it keeps kids interested in the subject because it's more challenging than any other course that they would take at a certain age. There are 5 different types of acceleration that apply to gifted students. The first is subject acceleration. This is where students are promoted in different subjects that they excel in. The second is grade skipping. This happens when a child exceeds in all subjects and is able to move up a year. The next is early entry. This is when a gifted child shows academic and social readiness to enter school at an earlier age. The fourth one is telescoping. That is when a gifted child can complete 2 years of school in just a single year. Lastly is radical acceleration. This occurs when really gifted children skip several grades or experience several forms of acceleration. Each type of acceleration varies depending on the gifted student, but can be very beneficial. Research shows that students do better when they are challenged. When gifted students were accelerated, there was an increase in their academic achievement. Research also shows that when gifted students are accelerated, they achieve just as much as equally gifted students in higher grades. After learning all about gifted students, I bet you're wondering, how can you tell if your child is gifted? As every child is unique, not every child is gifted. There are many signs showing that your child is gifted. For example, if your child is able to read at an early age and understand the variations in language. Many gifted children read a couple grades above their grade level, if not more. Another way you could tell if your child is gifted is their retention of information. Gifted children tend to learn information faster and remember the details for a long time. Gifted children also have an early use of vocabulary and extreme focus on subjects they like. They share their thoughts clearly and express their feelings and things they enjoy. As every child is creative, gifted children think abstractly. Lastly, a gifted child has great leadership abilities. They often take leadership roles in different situations and follow directions accordingly. They also show signs of independence and are able to complete tasks on time. As time passes, there has been an increase in gifted and talented programs, but just like other kids, gifted students need the love and support at home just as they do in school.